Welcome everyone to the second online travel education from Toad Learning Camp. Today we're going to talk about celebrity cruises. And there we go. All right, celebrity cruises is modern luxury cruising. And I struggled when I was preparing this because I love celebrity cruises, but how do I tell all of you what it's like and what it is about celebrity that makes me love them? And so I'm going to go over some of that today and kind of dispel some of the myths about celebrity, and also make you guys kind of see what I really do love about it. I wanted to start out with a little bit of history first. Celebrity Cruises started in 1988 by the Chandos Group, which is a Greek family. They started out with a very low-cost cruise line, the Chandos Fantasy Cruises. It was very low-end cruise ships, and there was a cruise line that was in Bermuda, and Holland America acquired them, and they decided to pull those ships out of Bermuda. Well, Bermuda has an agreement with several cruise lines for their berth space, and those spaces opened up. And Chandos really wanted to have those spaces, but Bermuda did not want the Chandos Fantasy Cruises coming to Bermuda. So they decided to create a new cruise line, and then they created Celebrity. And one of the things that you'll see with Celebrity is they use the logo on all their cruise ships as an X. And I was kind of wondering what that had to do with celebrity. And the X is actually the character Kai or Chai, I'm not sure how to say it, in Greek, which stands for the Chandos family. So it was kind of their own branding by putting the X on the ship, and it just stuck. In 1997, the Chandos family sold their interest to the Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, which then that led to Royal Caribbean creating another brand, the Royal Caribbean Limited, which is now today called the Royal Caribbean Group. And they decided to make that an extension of the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, but a little bit more luxury upscale version. Celebrity is technically considered in the premium brands. So today what we're going to go over is who is Celebrity Cruises, which I just did. The ship classes that they have, what it's like to be on a celebrity cruise, and the pros and cons of a celebrity cruise. So first of all, who is Celebrity? This is where I started thinking about it. When you talk about luxury, some people think, that's too much for me. I'm not going to get dressed up on a cruise. I'll, in the middle of the day, be wearing a tuxedo. That's not what celebrities luxury means. It's more of a personalized service. They're very knowledgeable. I was actually very impressed at the presentation that I listened to the other day with them. And they offer exceptional service. They're really in a class of their own. You can't really compare them to any of the other premium brands out there. They're very different than them. And like their catchphrase says, they're modern luxury. What I started thinking about this, I feel that they're more grown up, but they're not old. And they're more luxury, but they're not pretentious. And so they're just more of a comfortable feeling. And they tend to care more about the guest experience than what surrounds you. So it's not about the activities that are on board or the entertainment that they have on board board, or the different dining venues that they have on board. It's what you're going to want to experience on board and what's good for you. And as they say, there's no one like us. They feel that they've got themselves in a class of their own. I've been on other premium cruise lines, and I have to agree with that. I've been on Princess. I couldn't tell you anything bad about Princess. I had a good time on the cruise, but there was nothing that made me feel at home like I do on a Celebrity cruise. So they are contemporary, current, stylish. They're more comfortable. They care about your well-being, your enjoyment on board. They're chic. And I think what really hit me on this one, they don't have formal nights anymore. Instead, what they call them is elegant evening chic. So if you want to wear a tuxedo, you're more than welcome to. If you want to just wear a nice pair of designer jeans and a nice looking top, that's totally cool too. It's about you and your comfort level, but it also gives you a chance to be a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more stylish if you want to, or if you want to just kick back and relax, you can do that as well. They're exceptional. They're uncommon. One thing, what I was saying before about the presentation I attended the other day, we talked to the food and beverage manager on Shoreside. He's a Michelin star chef. All of their food and beverage department, Shoreside, they're all Michelin star chefs. It's very important to them that they have that, just so that they can make sure they're giving you the best experience and the best presentation and the best food on board. And I do think it does translate on board. I've had nothing but good things to say about the meals that I've had on the ship. And I would say they're also not snobby. They don't make you feel like everybody on board is affluent. I've been on some ships where you just get the feeling that other people are too good for you. And I don't get that feeling on Celebrity. I feel very comfortable, as comfortable on Celebrity as I would on almost any other cruise line, any other mainstream cruise line, but I feel like they care more about me when I'm on board there. And I feel that their focus, like I said, it's not about them and what they're offering and what they can do for me. It's about me and what is important to me on the cruise. And they want to make sure that I'm having the best vacation I can. And they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that that is the case. And it's personal to them. They take a very active role in making sure that you have a great time. Celebrity has basically 4 different classifications of ships. Their smallest ship is the Millennium class. And for those, I know all of you guys have been on Disney before. The Millennium class ships are about the same size as the Wonder and the Magic. They hold about 2,100 to 2,200 guests. The Millennium is in the Summit, and the Infinity have all been revolutionized. The Solstice class, that one is closer to the size of the Dream and the Fantasy. But honestly, when the Solstice was the first class of ship that I went on with Celebrity, it didn't feel anywhere near as large as the Dream and the Fantasy feel to me. They've divided up the ship in a way that it just flows, and it kind of cuts off the dining area for most of the time, except when you're going for dining. And so you don't feel like it's an outrageously large ship. It feels very comfortable. Um, the Edge class is their newest class, and that's a little bit larger than the Solstice class, but not overly huge like the Oasis class on Royal Caribbean. They also have 3 more ships coming online. The Apex is brand new this year. As far as those 3 classes go, I would say that the Edge class is a great ship for families, especially teenagers. I would have absolutely no problem recommending that for multi-gen, and for the teenagers. Solstice class, that one too is a good option for the teenagers. Edge class, I would even put that for young adults, that it's just a great option. There's a lot of things to do, a lot more dining venues on board, a lot more entertainment. The pool deck is very different than any other ship I've been on. Then the Galapagos fleet, each one of those is its own ship. There's none of them are the same, and as you can see, they're all different sizes. The Exploration is their smallest, and it only holds 16 people, so that one would be a good one for 8 couples who want to go on the Galapagos. But it is a very small ship. It is basically a twin hull catamaran. And so if it can be a little rough, and you can really get close to experiencing the seas on that one. The Expedition is a little bit larger at 48 passengers. That one does have ocean view rooms as well as balconies and suites. And then there's the Flora. The Florida holds 100 passengers. It is an all-suite ship. And the thing that's interesting about the Galapagos cruises is they are all inclusive. There is nothing extra you're going to pay for on that cruise from the moment you arrive until you leave, unless you want to go to the spa or you want to buy something in the shop. That is all you're going to pay for. Your gratuities are included, and I've got some more information on that a little bit later. And here's a picture of the Edge. The Edge is the ship, if you've seen the advertisements, that has the magic carpet on the side. And that is a floating platform on the side of the ship that goes up and down depending upon what they're using it for. At the bottom, at the water's edge, it is a tender port, and they'll bring the tenders right up to the magic carpet, and you can just walk right onto the tender boats. Up by deck, I believe it's deck 4, it's an extension of Sushi, or no, it's got to be deck 5, sorry. It's an extension of Sushi on 5. Then they have dining out there. Then up on the pool deck, it's a bar and an extension of that. And then up on the top, they have dinner on the Edge. And it's a restaurant up on the top deck that you can sit out and just enjoy being close to the water and being out there on the Edge. And there's another picture of the Edge. And so now I'm going to go a little bit into cruising to the Galapagos, as we're going to be doing this in April of 2022. Here we have a birthday to celebrate, so we'll do that. The Galapagos is an amazing place to visit. It's timeless, and you're going to see things there that you're never going to see anywhere else. A lot of people say it's a bucket list thing to do. And the Celebrity Florida is a great ship to take to the Galapagos, and that's what we will be doing in April of 2022. And here's just a picture of the 3 ships that go to the Galapagos. And just some details about Celebrity Flora. Small ship. It is about the length of a football field. The guest to crew ratio is something that I pay a lot of attention to with cruise lines. It's basically 1-to-1. There's 81 crew members, there's 100 guests on board. And then they also do, it says 10-to-1 for guest to naturalist, but in the video that we're going to see, it's closer to 1-to-9. Just the open deck on the Flora, some of the artwork in the Flora. And that's another thing with Celebrity, they do have a lot of artwork on board. Not just your art auctions at sea, but they also have a lot of artwork throughout the show. And this is the marina on the Flora. The 2 rooms up here are the penthouse rooms, but the tenders, or the Zodiacs, they will come right up to the stairs at the marina, so that you don't even have to hop out of a normal Zodiac. And here's the tenders. Okay, and this is Darwin's Cove, the Discovery Lounge, the restaurant, the lab, where you can go in the lab and learn a little bit about the different things that they're studying, and do some exploration on your own. The observatory, and the Sunset Lounge, and the Vista. And I did forget one other thing that you have to pay for on this cruise, and that would be glamping if you wanted to do it. This is a 2-room for 2 people for 1 night. A naturalist will come and give you your own private talk, and you'll have champagne and then sleep under the stars, and then the next morning they'll bring you breakfast. Definitely worth the extra money. And stargazing in the Galapagos is going to be like nothing you've ever seen. All the rooms on board are suites. And here's just some of the amenities that come with the suites. They give you a refillable water bottle, and in your room you have a filtered water station. So you don't have to worry about the plastics and having to go out to get a bottle of water. You've got your own refillable water bottle. Rain ponchos come with the room, and backpacks, plus some binoculars and champagne in the room when you get there. Butlers in the room, or personal suite attendants. And these are the rooms that are available for the date that we're sailing. The Premium Sky Suite, that's going to have your bathroom overlooking the water. That's the big difference between the Premium and the others. This has the infinite veranda. The Sky Suite with the infinite veranda. And for those that don't know, the infinite veranda, you can see down in this lower right-hand photo, they're not showing the wall that's there, but there's some accordion doors that will close off this area, and then you can open up the window and it makes it a veranda. Or you can have it open and then your whole room is just that much bigger. Or the third option is you can open up the window, keep the doors open, and you're basically bringing all of outside in. It does shut off your air conditioning when you do that, so it's nice to do once in a while, unless it's really hot out. But that was kind of a unique thing with these infinite verandas. And then the Sky Suite with the traditional veranda. Um, Flora and the Celebrity Cruises down in the Galapagos are doing a lot of things to make sure that they're not leaving a footprint where they're going, and they've got solar panels on the ship, water treatment system, no single-use plastics. The dynamic positioning system is interesting. They don't have to put down an anchor. They plug in where they want to stay, and the ship will just stay there. And they do have opportunities for you to, I'm trying to see where it is. It's match donations, but also planting trees. They do plant trees in the Galapagos, and all the food that they're getting is coming from the area, from local fisheries and farms. And these are some of the things that make Celebrity Flora unique. And it's all Michelin-starred menus on the ship. And they've all been created by Daniel Boulud. And he handles all of their menus for the suite restaurants and the Galapagos fleet, as well as the chef's table that's accessible to everyone.
Celebrity Cruises invites you to discover a corner of the world so unique, it's like you've left the planet altogether. Islands almost completely isolated from the rest of the world for centuries by miles of open ocean. An archipelago time forgot. The breathtaking Galapagos Islands. A place this extraordinary deserves a ship that's equally extraordinary. Step aboard Celebrity Flora, our all-suites luxury yacht, and experience the ultimate in creature comforts with the largest, most luxurious suites in the Galapagos. Every suite boasts floor-to-ceiling windows for panoramic views. Celebrity Flora was the first ship of its kind designed specifically for the Galapagos. Flora merges seamlessly with the environment, so you'll experience the true sense of being in the destination instead of just visiting it. On a Celebrity Galapagos vacation, everything you need is included. Round-trip flights from Quito to the islands, transfers, luxury hotel stays, meals and beverages, land tours before and after your cruise, and shore excursions during your cruise. These islands are simply amazing, and we don't want you to miss a thing. We have a team of 11 certified naturalists who guide you on your journey. That's nearly one naturalist for every 9 guests. In the islands, you'll discover a wide variety of creatures, many found nowhere else on Earth. Marine iguanas, Galapagos giant tortoises, the infamous blue-footed boobies. And because these incredible animals have no natural fear of humans, you'll find yourself right up close and personal with them. The marina is your convenient gateway to the islands. It features a sea-level platform that provides direct access to our custom-designed Novarani yacht tenders. Simply step aboard, and you'll be transported to and from the islands in comfort and style. When you're not exploring the islands, explore on board. The Discovery Lounge is the hub of activity on Flora. The lab offers you the opportunity to learn more about this fragile ecosystem and our scientific efforts to help maintain it. Flora gives you the perfect way to enjoy the great outdoors right on board. The Sunset Lounge and the Vista are luxurious open-air hideaways. Even after the sun goes down, Flora offers exceptional outdoor experiences. At the Vista, go Galapagos glamping. Experience an evening under the stars in luxuriously cozy cabanas. The Galapagos Islands are some of the most stunning islands in the world, and Celebrity Flora is right at home here. Step aboard and experience an unforgettable, once-in-a-lifetime vacation.
Okay, who's excited about Galapagos? Like I said, it includes everything. We're doing an 11-night package. It's going to include the hotel, dining, drinks, The only thing I'm not sure is alcoholic drinks and keto. I've seen it both ways. Your flights from Quito over to the island. And actually seeing the Galapagos by ship, I've seen some people say you should go and stay there instead of going by ship, but going by ship, you can go around to so many different places in the islands. There's a lot of places that are just off limits for you to be traveling around, and you have to have a naturalist when you're going there. So this is a great option. The ship will go to 2 different stops every single day. You'll have shore excursion options in the morning and the afternoon. All of that is included. And staying at the JW Marriott. And all of this are things that you can do, things that you can see. Okay. And then next I wanted to talk about cruising to Alaska. We should be doing this in 2 weeks, but instead we got to wait another year. Next year, Celebrity's going to have 3 ships there. This, I love this picture because I've been to Hubbard Glacier before, and several of you have been there with me. I never realized how big Hubbard Glacier is until you look at it from the sky. We were cruising just right in front of that glacier, and I would have never known it was that big. And this is just what Celebrity where Celebrity goes in Alaska. And next week, our Toad Learning Camp is going to talk about going to Alaska, both cruising and the land tours in Alaska. So now what sets Celebrity apart? I know you guys can tell that I love Celebrity. So they have a lot of activities on board. They do a lot of trivia, music trivia, games, lots of different music venues. They do have shows. Their entertainment, you can hear music pretty much anywhere on board each day, but you're not going to get the Broadway style shows. They do have an agreement with oh gosh, now I'm forgetting what it is. It's one of the ballets, but that's not on every sailing. It moves around from ship to ship, so you're not going to see that on every single sailing, but that's something that you could see. Their entertainment is good, but it's not like with Disney, you're going to see the Broadway style shows, or on Royal Caribbean, where you're going to have like Hairspray or Mamma Mia or some Grease, some of the other shows straight from Broadway. One thing that I think really sets Celebrity apart is their revolution that they just are in the middle of undergoing right now, and several ships have had it done. Basically, when they decided to come out with the Celebrity Edge, they decided to make several of those changes on the rest of their fleet to bring them all up to the standards that the Edge has. And the one thing that they did that I have not seen many cruise lines at all do is they've gone to the cabins. Now, everybody, when they have their dry dock, they'll tear out the carpeting in the cabins and they'll put in new soft goods in the cabins. But Celebrity took it a step further. They gutted the cabins. They put in all new showers, all new beds, all new cabinets. Everything looks absolutely brand new. And it's because they do realize that you do, even if you're not spending a lot of time in your room, you do spend time in your room, and you want something that's comfortable, and you want something that's fresh and new. And they've also done a lot with their suite area. So if being in a suite is something that you want to try, or you're used to doing that. um, they have basically the concept that a lot of the cruise lines are going to is the ship within a ship, and they've got the retreat. All of the suites from the Sky Suite up, which is the entry level suite, they all include the retreat, which is a separate private area on the pool deck. They've got their own pool there. They've got lounge chairs. They've got a bar up there and some dining options as well. They've got the retreat lounge, and that's just a private area where you can go and just hang out. They've got a bartender in there as well. They have food in there as well, and they've got their own restaurant, Lumine, which is all 3-course meals from Daniel Boulud. They go to a lot of destinations too, and pretty much anywhere that you want to travel to, you're going to find a Celebrity ship there. And their service, I would say it is some of the best service that I've had on a cruise ship. And for those that have been on Disney before, I think Disney still has a really good product. I think their service is not as good as it used to be, but it's still very good if you're a new Disney cruiser. When you've cruised a lot of times, you see a lot of repetitiveness, and it starts to lose what you felt about it before. I have never felt that with Celebrity. It's always felt very fresh and very personal and honest, and I've always been really pleased with what I've gotten from them. Their food is very subjective, but I would put that up very high as well. It's not going to be your basic meat and potatoes food. It is a little bit more, they do a little bit more with it, but one of the things I really like about the Royal Caribbean group is they've picked favorites that people have and put those on the menu every day. So where some of the cruise lines will say, if you want a basic steak, you want a basic chicken or a basic salmon, you can get that any day. They have some favorites, like creme brulee, you can get that any night you want. And it's because, people want that. The favorites are the things that people want to have all the time. So they've added those instead of just having your plain steak and chicken and fish. So I definitely would say that their food is a cut above. Another thing that I kind of compare when I'm looking at food, because like I said, it's very subjective when you're looking at food, but I look at the quality of the food that they're using and the cuts of meat that they're using. I find that some of the more entry-level cruise lines and Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, they're going to use a lesser cut of meat when you're going there. It's not bad food, but you'll get the sirloins there. Whereas on Celebrity and Disney, they're going to give you a tenderloin. So it's just a matter of, what grade of food that they're using, what extras they're putting on it, what extra steps they're taking with it. And I think they do a really good job with that. I don't have a problem eating in the main dining rooms on a Celebrity cruise. There are several other cruise lines that I just don't want to eat in the main dining room. I'll pay for specialty dining, and I don't feel like I need to do that on Celebrity. What Celebrity is not, if you're looking for a party atmosphere, a booze cruise, you're not going to find it there. While I say that they're grown up and they're more mature, but without being old, they're also not early 20s going out to have a party weekend. It's more about the activities that you're gonna that you want to do in you know, the drinking and the eating and all that is something that just goes along with life. It's not focused on that. Their entertainment is, it's, while it's still family friendly, it's not for children per se. Like Disney is more geared towards children, but it's still classy entertainment without one cruise line that we were on, we were in the piano bar when the piano player was talking about getting in someone's pants with children around. And I just kind of went, okay, that's not family friendly to me. That's very adult. That's also not celebrity. Like I said, it's not a party crowd. And I mentioned briefly the suite class. So they have the luxurious accommodations, the retreat lounge, Luminae for the restaurant, and the retreat up on the upper deck. And like I said, that has been added to several of the ships, and it is available on the new ships when they come out. They do have a lot for children. STEM focused programs, art programs, culinary activities. Bill wants to go do the drone races. And right now, Celebrity has, and this goes for all the Royal Caribbean group, they have a Cruise with Confidence program. They are guaranteeing if you book by August 1st, that you will get the best price and the best offer. And this is going to be, this is available on anything that you book up until August 1st. If ever the price is lower, and within 48 hours, you can get, if it's before final payment, you'll get it off of your cruise fare. If it's after final payment, you'll get it as an onboard credit. Then if you decide anytime up until 48 hours before that you're just not comfortable cruising, let's say you've got a cruise plan for November and you get to November and it's just, it's not what you had hoped, you are free to request a future cruise credit up until, or in 100% of what you paid, that you can use on any sailing up until May 3rd, 2022. The lift and shift, that is only available if you do it until August 1st. So that's kind of difficult to say much about that one. That one, basically, if you have a cruise booked for any time in the future that's available, it's going to have to be probably until April of 2021, because you would move it a year. And you look at you want to put off that cruise for another year, and the pricing for the next year is considerably higher. You can just take your existing booking and you can move it to that year, to the following year. It has to be within 4 weeks either side of the current date, and they will guarantee your pricing. So that's great with and we had looked at it for Alaska. It didn't turn out to be a better deal for most of our Alaska group, but Kevin did that with his, and the price was higher on the date he was going to move to. So we just lifted and shifted to the new dates, and it price protected him. So he got exactly what he was going to pay, just deferred the cruise for another year. And about an hour ago, a little more than an hour ago, my Celebrity cruise rep contacted me and asked me if there was anything I needed in order to do this presentation tonight. And he offered some swag for everybody who attended. And I said, swag would be nice. I was also thinking of doing a little promotion to see about getting some people to book before August 1st. And so he came up with an onboard credit offer. So any bookings that are confirmed with a deposit by August 1st will get $150 bonus onboard credit. That's in addition to what Travel on a Dream offers. That's coming directly from Celebrity. So the only exclusion are Galapagos sailings, because there's really nothing else to buy on the Galapagos sailings. So they do not offer onboard credits for that because it's an all-inclusive product. But anybody who is looking to book another future sailing, just request Toad TLC to get this extra onboard credit and book by August 1st, and we'll be able to get that for you. And that is pretty much everything that I have for you. I'm going to go to full screen and let's see, there we go. And I'm going to open up the, I'm going to unmute everyone if I can do this again. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. All right, so if anybody has any questions, I know that Kevin does.
I think it's a personal preference, but I was curious about, since I've not been on the Edge or the Apex, those infinite verandas look kind of small and tight in comparison to a slanted or a hump that I'm used to on the Solstice and the Millennium class. Is it really just a matter of choice, or are they really smaller and the pictures are accurate?
I wouldn't say they're smaller, but they've gone with bigger furniture, and so they feel smaller. I don't know so much about the Galapagos, if that would feel that way with the infinite veranda, but I definitely felt, I was glad I was on a short sailing on the Edge. I don't think I would have liked to have the infinite veranda for a longer sailing. And unfortunately, with the Edge and I'm pretty sure the Apex is going to be the same. The balconies that do not have the infinite veranda are more like the Navigator's veranda on the Magic and the Wonder. So they have the hole, and instead of having an open veranda, I mean, they're still open, but they're more closed in. That is, and then the concierge, the Aqua Class, and the balconies all are that way. They all have infinite verandas. The only way on the Edge class you can get a room without an infinite veranda is by going to a suite. And so I think that was kind of short-sighted on their part to assume that everybody would want that. It is really nice when you're on a short sailing to open up your balcony doors and open up that window and leave it open. There were some other issues that we had with it that we were hoping that they would address with the Apex, and I haven't heard if they're doing that or not. Bill and I get up at different times during the morning, especially on vacation, and I like to go sit out on the balcony and just enjoy the sunrise. In order to see outside, the screen is right at the windows, and you have to use the motorized button to raise the screen all the way to the top in order to open up the window. And then all the sun comes in because there's no screen or no curtains or anything on the inside part, because they want it to be an extension of the room, so that would take away from it. It did make the room seem very big when we had it open, but when we wanted to use it as a balcony, it seemed very tight. And I'm not a huge fan of that part of the Edge.
Yeah, the other thing we noticed was if the wind is wrong, they will decide to just disable your room.
Yeah.
So you can't open it or close it. I mean, it's going to be closed because they're worried about, 85 people having their room open, and all of a sudden the air conditioning is overwhelmed for the ship.
Or it's just taking on too much air.
Yeah, otherwise it becomes a sailboat.
Right. Yeah, we had some challenges with that. We went to open up our veranda and it wasn't working. And we're like, is this broken already? And we went to the other panel and we're trying to open it. And we were about ready to call. And on the main panel, it said, balcony disabled by captain. And, you know, the sun's coming in that way. And, you know, it's kind of warm out there. It would have been nice to be able to open up our balcony. And the accordion doors, if you don't close them, the air conditioning goes off in the room too. So it does tend to get, if it's kind of warm out and you don't have a breeze, which you wouldn't have too much of a breeze if they're allowing you to have them open, the air conditioning is going to go off in the room.
And when they revolutionize the rest of the fleet, are they changing that, adding Infinite, or they're just changing the furnishings and?
They're not adding the Infinite verandas.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else have any questions?
Tracy, and this is just trying to get future cruise credit and such in my head for when that applies. Have you heard anything about the Disney Wish? Because Roz and I were thinking about doing inaugural year on the Wish, but if that's delayed, then I might take the future cruise credit and then use that for something in 22 on Celebrity.
I have not heard anything except for I have heard that every ship right now that is coming out has been pretty much delayed. So it would not surprise me if the Wish was delayed.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, pretty much everything they've told us is kind of running on time, and then you kind of hear things here and there, like the Odyssey. I mean, that was supposed to be out in November, and now that's not going to be out till next April. The Mardi Gras was supposed to be out in November. It's not going to be out till next February now. And so if all these ships are running behind, the next ones in the in the queue are going to be running behind, because I know that the Odyssey is at Meyer Wharf. So, and that's where the Wish is being built. So I would expect that it probably will get somewhat delayed.
Okay. Just.
And I know they're not expecting it to be out. They had originally said 2021, I think.
Right.
And that's already been pushed back to 2022.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was long before this. They had told us that they don't expect it until the first quarter of 2022.
Okay. Because there's a nice PC repo on the Millennium.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, stuff to think about.
So I think, now, Kim, you have never been on Celebrity, correct?
No, I've never been on Celebrity.
Okay.
I've Princess 20 years ago almost, and then all Disney and then MSC. So I'm really looking forward. I was so disappointed, but weren't we all? But yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to what kind of onboard cruise credit do they give, like if you're booking on board? Do they give the usual 10%?
Cruise credit?
Well, not cruise credit, but like, do they give
Discount? They don't do a discount, no.
They don't do a discount, onboard discount.
They
Okay.
do from time to time have onboard offers where you can be guaranteed a certain number of perks for no additional cost.
Right. Okay.
I've seen that where it's you get 3 perks with a concierge and above, and there's always an onboard credit, and the onboard credit depends on how long your sailing is.
Okay.
One thing that I didn't mention that I think out of all the cruise lines loyalty programs, how they're calculating it, I personally like Celebrities the best, because they do it based on the type of cabin that you're in, as well as the number of nights that you're cruising. And so, and the other thing that they do is they have they have a reciprocal plan with Royal Caribbean, where Kevin and I have both benefited from that. Where if you earn your level on one cruise line, you can transfer it over to the other cruise line at certain points. But they have more of a sister agreement with Azamara. So if you are, let's say you've done all your cruises on Celebrity and you're now a select member, you go on Azamara and you're a select member on there, I mean, what their level, whatever it is called. And then you keep earning. And when you, let's say you were almost ready to move into the elite category and you went on Azamara and you got enough points to get you to that next level, you go back to Celebrity and you're at that level. So you earn at the same rate and they're interchangeable. So I know both Kevin and I were, and I think, Kevin, did you do it the same way I did? Where you were on, did you make Celebrity first or did you make Royal first?
I made Royal first and then it transferred
Okay.
it over. Yep.
Yeah, so he cruised on Royal Caribbean enough times to get to the Diamond level and then went over to Celebrity, and he had been cruising on both cruise lines, and then he became elite with Celebrity just automatically. I became elite with Celebrity and went from Emerald, jumped 2 stops up to Diamond from my sailings on Celebrity and Azamara. So it's kind of nice. And they, I think the lowest points you get, I believe, is just 1 point for an inside room, and it's 1 point per night, but you can earn like more than 10 points a night. And I think it's more like 15 or even more than that for the top suite. So it just depends what level you go. And we've been known to bump up our category, one category, just so we get more points to get to the next level. So it's kind of a nice way to earn the loyalty without, you know, when you go on other cruise lines and Royal Caribbean, you earn 1 point per night, no matter what category you're in, unless you're in a suite. If you're in a suite, you get 2 points per night. So it's nice that, you know, they recognize who's paying more money, who's staying in a higher category room and giving them more benefits.
Any perks for going on the Flora in this case?
Perks like what?
Extra bonus points trying to get status.
Well, you would get it for being in a Sky Suite.
Okay.
So you would definitely get a lot more points for that. Now, the one thing I should check on is if you would get it for the whole package. I'm not sure how cruise tours work. I never looked into that to see if they count the nights that you're on the cruise tour, and that's basically what it is. So I'll definitely check that out, because that would boost everybody a lot.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions?
Disappointed no Alaska. Looking forward to the Galapagos.
We'll have Alaska next year and the Galapagos the year after. I mean,
Yep.
What more can we ask for?
To win the lottery so I could go on Galapagos.
Oh, come on, and bite the bullet.
Or maybe
Oh.
that just
My day.
this was over. And, yeah. Yeah, we have 3 other couples that are considering going, and one of them is going to be 65 on the day we embark. So they're thinking about going. And I may or may not have been told that since there's only 100 people on the ship, we let them know ahead of time who's celebrating, and it will be a good time.
Yeah, you said Celebrity isn't partiers. That they haven't met us, have they?
Oh, but we'll still have a good time. Yeah.
I don't know, the first Alaska cruise, we were pretty well known at the Martini Bar.
I think our groups are always pretty well
Yeah.
any bar.
Mark and I have been known to close the bar a few times.
Can anyone say Cards Against Humanity?
Imagine that
Yeah.
in the lobby with 80-year-olds.
In front of the guest services desk.
They were all
We-
jealous.
We did that on Viking Ocean, Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have it set over here.
We were told by the guest services manager that we brought life to the cruise line.
I'm not surprised somehow. I do have to get on one of these toad cruises, I'll tell you.
Well, come down in October. When are you going to be down? When are you going to Disney next?
January.
Uh,
Yeah, we're in Disney in January and then in April. But
Well,
I'm there for
October
a lengthy
come-
time.
October, come down to Miami and join us on a cruise.
I can talk to what's his name over there, but my daughter is preaching over and over again, being in the health profession. She said, no vaccine, no cruise. That's her song, but we'll see. I'm pushing back, but she's pretty adamant because she's there, she sees it. So.
I think the cruise lines are going to do a really good job with everything.
I'm not-
They have to.
I'm not doubting that, but
Yeah. They I mean, they've been under such scrutiny from the CDC. They really do need to
Yeah.
make sure they have all their ducks in a row before they get back to sailing. And from everything I've heard so far from their panel of experts, I don't doubt that it's going to be really very well taken care of.
Well, the cruise demographic fits into the vulnerable group as a rule, overall. And I fit into that group. And not that I have anything underlying, but, it's something you consider in the back of your head,
Mhm.
So.
Why I volunteered for the vaccine trial.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh, that's great.
They're
We'll have to
recruiting
know how you do.
well,
Phase two?
they just asked for volunteers today, and they're asking for 750 volunteers. Now, if they're looking for people in a vulnerable group, I'm over 60, I'm overweight, I have hypertension, I have asthma, and I'm a cancer survivor. So who knows?
Well, you have a few things
could
going
ring
on.
all their bells. So who knows? But anyway,
Is
Well,
this
you have to keep us updated on how you do.
Yeah.
I will if
Through
they
one of
give
the
me the
medical
shot. Then
Kim,
On
is
the
this
other hand, I
through
always
the-
felt safer on a cruise ship than I did. Well,
I don't
in
have
one
any
case,
personal
being at
problems,
work.
but- It's true, but yeah,
Kathy,
just
what were
something to
you saying?
consider.
What were you saying, Kathy?
No, I was asking Kim, is this through one of the medical schools?
yes, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center.
That's what I figured.
Okay.
It's part of the part of the
Moderna.
Moderna
Yeah.
trial. So they're getting 750 people from the Pittsburgh area.
Yep.
It was on the news, and they said, "Click on this link if you want to volunteer." And I said, "What the heck? You can't."
There you go.
So far, I mean, there have been relatively mild side effects in the people with the mega doses, and they're not doing the mega, they're doing the medium dose on the
Right.
trial. So, I mean, what can it hurt? I can either be placebo
Right.
or the other one. Of course,
get
I'll never
the
know which is which until the trial's over. But
Yeah, it's a blinded study.
yeah, it's got to be a blind study, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
All right.